Hey everyone, this is Ian with AlphaCars in Ural of New England, and today I have a very special Ural to share with you, and that is the 2023 Gear Up, and it's in the Colza field color. Very distinct, very unique, and as we see by the vinyl here, the XPD, that stands for Expedition, very cool looking logo as well with that kind of mountainous look to it. This is one of Ural's Expedition series bikes, and there's a couple other colors to it. We have another one here. This is the Polar Dawn. So we will have a separate video on the Polar Dawn bike. This video is focusing on the Colza field. So we're going to talk about all the awesome accessories that are on this bike, and we'll talk about as well the changes for 2023. Ural made some nice changes on the Gear Up for the new model year. And we'll go over some of these standout features and specifications and kind of just talk about what a Ural is. Maybe you're very familiar with them, or maybe this is your first time discovering that this bike exists. So we're also gonna just learn generally just what it is, and it is a very cool bike indeed. If you're new to the channel, welcome to AlphaCars. We share daily motoring content, so make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. But now, let's dive in to this Colza field Gear Up. So first, let's just cover what a Ural Gear Up is. This is a two-wheel drive sidecar motorcycle. So this is engineered from the factory to have a sidecar. It's actually unsafe to remove the sidecar and try to ride it as a motorcycle with the front suspension design and the geometry of the frame. So it's designed to have a sidecar. It comes with a sidecar, and it has on-demand two-wheel drive, as I mentioned, and I will show you the controls for that in a few minutes here. It also has a mechanical reverse gear. They have 4 forward gears, so it's a 4-speed gearbox with a mechanical reverse. And the power plant is a 750 cc horizontally opposed twin. It does have a modern fuel injection system. As we check out those throttle bodies with that modern system there. And they have a twin plate dry clutch actually. So the gearbox and the engine have separate oils like it does in your automobile. It has that twin plate dry clutch enables there to be a lot of clamping force, because that horizontally opposed twin makes a lot of torque, and especially for a bike like this, you want to be able to still have a light clutch pull that doesn't tire you out, but be able to support all that torque. And that's exactly what that does, as you would see, a twin plate clutch in a performance application in an automobile. So now that I've hopefully kind of summarized that for you, let's just take a very nice close look at this color, and I'll start to name these awesome accessories that are on it. A lot of these accessories are color matched to the bike, as we can see with the yellow racks and such. So that's all very, very exciting. So starting at the front of the sidecar driving lights, and something we do here at Ural of New England, we can see there's no wires running to them. They actually go into the back of the front bumper, and then they come out back here out of the cap in the end to go into the sidecar. So actually from the Ural factory, they come on the outside of this, kind of just zip tied to it, and we're just kind of perfectionists here at AlphaCars and like to go above and beyond. So what we do is drill the back of the bumper, put a grommet in there, touch up paint so there's no rust or anything like that, properly done. And then we run the harness through there, and that yields just such a clean look. And it keeps it out of the way as well if things get tough off-road. And we can see there's a chip guard, or undercoating you could call it, but it's a factory undercoating that's applied under the paint, so it's done properly, and that is applied to the bottom of the sidecar tub, inside the tub, inside the trunk in the sidecar, which I will show you in a few minutes, and in all 3 fenders. So the sidecar fender and both the Ural's fenders. So those being applied at the factory they make a big difference with protecting the bike, and they allow some flex in the paint when, you know, things may kick up and hit it, so then it won't chip and it won't start rusting. Nice sidecar nose rack here, color matched in that really gorgeous yellow. We have a short sidecar windscreen here in the smoked color. And to match, there's the Ural adjustable touring windscreen in the smoked color as well. So those together with the rest of the black accents on the bike look awesome. And with this adjustable windscreen as well, these two little points here, you just loosen, and then you can slide this upper portion up and down quite a bit to really dial in how much wind protection you want, depending on, of course, your preference or your height and such. So that's all really cool. We have a headlamp rock guard, and also behind that you'll see there's an LED bulb in the housing there. It's a very bright and noticeable light, especially with those other LED driving lights on it. We've got light protection on the Ural. So these very sturdy protectors here, protecting your lights on the sidecar fender and the rear light on the Ural itself. And I like the color difference here. This one's black to match the back fender there, and the rear kind of bumper grab handle being black. And then these on the other side of the bike, which the color scheme has changed, including the sidecar fender rack. All these are yellow, which I think is really cool. Speaking of the sidecar fender rack, very awesome accessory. All these accessories are available on our e-store as well. We can ship them right to your door. So definitely give those a look. It'll pop up in the video right now for you to click on. But we can see this uses factory mounting locations. You don't have to drill the sidecar fender. And it's very, very sturdy. It can shake the whole bike with it, and there's no flex in it. I mean, you can even see the gauge of metal used. It's pretty thick there. We've got the rack, kind of flat rack on the spare tire in that nice yellow once again. Sidecar rear bumper. And I will note that the spare tire fits all three locations of the Ural. So the hub, which is the center part here where it mounts to the Ural, they designed it so if you got a flat anywhere on the Ural and it couldn't be fixed and you had to switch out for a new your spare, it will go anywhere on the Ural. So very good engineering behind that and practicality. So now let me show you a bit more as far as the sidecar goes. So jerry can here has a little sticker on it that says not for gasoline and drinking water. So don't use it for both at the same time, or don't use it for gas one week and water the other. So I think that sticker is kind of funny, but obviously just use common sense there. But very nice mounting system as well. Very, very sturdy. And plenty of room in the sidecar. I'm just about 6 feet tall and I have plenty of room, and we've even got videos of being over 6 feet and saying how comfortable the sidecar is. Nice contoured seat, nice and soft. And as we take a look in the front of the sidecar, there is a fuse panel in there, and there is an extra circuit there. We can see that switch ready to be used. And there is a European style plug, 12 volt outlet. And we do have adapters to the American style on our e-store. We of course have the expanding shovel and the sidecar latch here. I already have it unlatched so I can open it for you on video easily. Usually just takes a couple hands to do it because of how heavy duty it is. But we can see it's lockable as well, so you can keep your goodies locked up. So now in the trunk, we can see it has that textured coating, protect it from rust and have good longevity. This is the folded up tonneau cover that it protects the top of the sidecar. It isolates this from the elements. I'll link a video right now for you to click on if you want to learn how to use that or just the different things you can do with it. But as it has a trunk, that's where I was storing it. So now in the trunk, lots of room in here. We've got the factory toolkit, which very extensive toolkit there. You can really do any service you need on the bike with it, including with the owner's manual. This is it's like a service manual as well. It has wiring diagrams, exploded parts views. Really any maintenance or service you need to do on the bike, you can do with what it comes with. It's pretty awesome. And we have the touch-up paint as well. So we've got those 3 different colors there. And I will note, nice touch, we've got rubber mats with the Ural logo on them. Same thing with the Sidecar. Gives you a nice quality feel, and of course it protects the undercoating or the chip guard in there as well from scuffing it up with your feet. So now I'll talk about the brakes. Some beefy Brembos on it. We've got a 4-piston caliper up front with a nice drilled rotor floating design. And in the back, we've got single piston Brembo calipers, drilled rotor floating design once again. And of course, the Sidecar has its own brake as well. So really, it's nice to see this thing stops unbelievable when you're on the road. As I mean, this braking setup is really motorsport derived with those floating rotors and the drilled rotors, and seeing it on these Urals is just awesome. So now talking about the foot controls a little bit here. We've got our rear brake, which we can see by this cool linkage is linked to our Sidecar brake, which has its own fluid reservoir and master cylinder. So the rear brake actuates both rear tires at once for a nice strong braking performance and keeping things even. So then when you really step on those brakes, the Ural's not going to pull left or right. It's just going to track straight and true. This pedal right here, which is like a heel toe pedal, that's for reverse. So whether you're in neutral or first gear, you pull the clutch in and you kick down on this pedal on the back, and that pops you right in reverse. And when you're done, you just push back forward and you'll be back in neutral. And it's a heel toe shifter for those 4 forward gears as well. Now let me show you the underneath of the bike a little bit, and I'll talk about the 2023 improvements because we're going to be looking right at one of them. So this is the final drive unit, and I forgot to mention the 2-wheel drive lever is right here. If we can see that, if I get a decent camera angle for you. So right there is our 2-wheel drive lever. So when you actuate that, that is turning this actuator on the final drive, and the gears will slot right into place and you'll be in 2-wheel drive. And we see it has a CV axle. So that's one of the improvements, smoother rotation at all angles, and we've got increased reliability with that as well. Less service really. Really all you have to do is just monitor the boot condition, make sure that doesn't, get damaged or leak any grease out. And I mean, as long as the boots kind of stay in good shape, there's not really a whole lot of service to do on a CV axle. And of course, most cars nowadays, whether it's a German car, Japanese car, Audi, Volkswagen, or Toyota or Subaru, they all use the CV joints now. Very smooth and robust system. And the other 2023 changes were to you can't see them on the outside, but there's been design and manufacturing improvements to the engine's crankcase. So always good to see improvements being made there, kind of at the heart of the Ural. And let's take one moment to admire the exhaust. It's a true 2-into-1 system, high mount exhaust. The welds, if I focus in on here, the welds are quite beautiful, and the mounting is really sturdy. You can see how thick gauge aluminum that is, and then the nice kind of isolator rubber bushings there. And we even have the grab handles on each side of the bench seat. Those are color matched yellow as well. And of course, the valve covers. Really awesome looking paint scheme on this Ural. So now let me hop on it here. I'll show you the kind of controls up front and start it up for you, and touch on a couple more accessories that I haven't mentioned yet. So first off, we've got shin guards. Keeps the kind of cold air and debris up off your legs. Very affordable and very practical kind of modification or accessory there that I highly recommend. We've got hand guards, so these will keep brush and the like off your hands. They also deflect some wind off your hands as well, keep your hands warmer for longer. on those cold rides. We've got a ball mount here for any device of your choosing. It replaces, this actually whole piece is machined and it replaces the handlebar clamp. Very high quality and impressive piece. I really like that. And we've got an upgraded all metal housing fast charger here for your device with its own switch, so you can turn it on or off. Even if the bike is off, then whether you want to make sure that's off or you want to use it and you don't need to use the key of the bike, that's very convenient as well. So now going over the controls of the Ural, this is the parking brake, very heavy duty and satisfying to use. It's all aluminum. And now that we can see our left-hand controls, it's really standard motorcycle controls. We've got our low beam, which is always on, flash to pass, you push back and push forward for high beam. We've got our blinkers and our horn. This switch here is for the driving lights on the sidecar, which I'll turn those on. So then when I turn on the Ural, I'll show you around it. We've got our kill and run switch, obviously front brake and throttle, and our starter. The factory grips are very comfortable, kind of like a soft touch rubber. And really the only reason I'd probably replace those is just to put heated grips on the bike, which we do offer as well. And lastly, before I start it, something that's hiding behind our shin guard has a hydraulic steering dampener. I believe 20 points of adjustment, so you can really dial that in to your riding style, whether you want kind of a lighter feel for the road or you're off-road, you want a stiffer steering that's gonna not kick back as much if you're going over some obstacles. So that's a very high quality piece as well that's standard on these Urals. So now when I turn on the key, we can see it does its little self-check there. And I'm sorry about the lighting, but you can pretty much see that. And now that we're in neutral, all we have to do is hit the starter. And it starts right up. That modern fuel injection system. No matter what fuel quality or elevation you're at, or the temperature out, it just starts right up and runs sweet every time. And of course, the carbureted bikes, they have two carburetors as it's a 2-cylinder, so you have to balance out the chokes with those as well. So really just stress-free, get on and go riding with the fuel injection system. That's pretty dialed in on these new models. But that's all I have for you today. This has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough location. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below or give us a call at 978-263-9000 and we'll be happy to talk to you there. And please leave a like on this video and subscribe so that you don't miss out on the daily motoring content.